The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened with unprecedented haste. Ambassador Zixither of the Kralian Empire stood before the assembled delegates, his crystalline exoskeleton gleaming under the chamber's bioluminescent lighting. His announcement sent ripples of disbelief through the crowd. The Korthax Dominion has launched a full-scale invasion of the human homeworld, he declared, his voice translator struggling to convey his species equivalent of alarm. Counselor Venra, a towering mantis-like being from the Etherian Collective, rose from her seat. This is madness. Have they not read the reports? Have they not studied human history? The chamber erupted into chaos. Species from across the galaxy chittered, roared, and broadcast their shock through various means of communication. Humans had been part of the Galactic Council for only 30 standard cycles, but in that short time, they had earned a reputation that bordered on mythological. On Earth, in the city of New Geneva, Amelia Rodriguez stood in the command center of the United Earth Defense Force, watching the holographic displays with cold calculation. The red dots representing Korthax warships descended through the atmosphere like falling stars. She was humanity's youngest fleet admiral, promoted after her tactical brilliance during the Proxima negotiations had prevented a war. Admiral, we're receiving surrender demands from the Korthax flagship, reported Lieutenant Felix Chen from his tactical station. His fingers danced across the haptic interface, collating data from orbital defense platforms. Amelia's lips curved into a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Surrender demands. How quaint. She turned to Felix. What's their fleet composition? 300 capital ships, approximately 2,000 frigates and destroyers. And Felix paused, his expression incredulous. They've brought troop carriers. Ma'am, they're planning a ground invasion. The command center fell silent. Then, someone laughed. The laughter spread like wildfire until the entire room was filled with the sound of grim amusement. They want to fight humans on the ground, Amelia said, shaking her head. Alert all defense forces. Standard Protocol Delta 7. And Felix, yes, Admiral? Make sure our galactic observers are recording everything. This will be educational. Across the galaxy, the Galactic Council continued its emergency session. Ambassador Threlanak of the Aquarian Domains projected a holographic file into the center of the chamber. Perhaps the Korthax have forgotten the incident on Kepler 4 for to be, the water dwelling. Ambassador gurgled through his translation device. Allow me to remind this council. The hologram displayed a mining colony 30 cycles prior. A labor dispute had turned violent when the Vexian overseers attempted to enslave human workers. The file showed what happened next. 200 humans, armed with mining equipment and improvised weapons, holding off a force of 3,000 trained Vexian soldiers for 16 planetary rotations. When reinforcements finally arrived, they found the Vexians in full retreat. Their survivors traumatized. That was a small group of miners. Counselor Venra reminded the assembly. The Korthax are attacking a planet of 8 billion humans, a species that evolved as persistence hunters, a species that turned their own homeworld's apex predators into pets and companions. On Earth, the Korthax ground forces made planetfall in the Australian outback, expecting minimal resistance. They were met by Felix's ground coordination team's farmers, ranchers, and mining crews who had armed themselves with military-grade weapons pulled from strategic reserves. The 1st Korthax Battalion learned a terrible lesson. Humans had spent millennia perfecting the art of killing each other. The tactics, strategies, and weapons they'd developed through countless wars were now turned outward. Amelia watched the battle feeds from orbit, her enhanced neural interface processing data from 1,000 sources simultaneously. They're trying to establish a beachhead near Alice Springs. Redirect the 7th Armored Division. And someone get me Colonel Morrison. A grizzled face appeared on her screen. Morrison here, Admiral. Colonel, the Korthax seem to think they can take territory and hold it. Please educate them otherwise. Morrison's grin was feral. With pleasure, ma'am. My boys have been getting soft. This'll be good for morale. In space, the Korthax fleet attempted to bombard strategic positions, but Earth's orbital defense grid designed during humanity's nuclear age and upgraded with galactic technology proved devastating. Felix coordinated the counterattack with precision. his tactical genius turning the invaders' numerical advantage into a liability. "Admiral, their flagship is requesting a ceasefire," Felix reported, surprise evident in his voice. "The invasion began only 4 hours ago." Amelia's expression hardened. "Deny it. They wanted this fight. They'll get all of it." At the Galactic Council, news of the battle's progress arrived in real time. The Korthax delegation sat in stunned silence as the reports came in. 70% casualties. In the first 6 hours. Complete loss of orbital superiority. Ground forces in full retreat. Ambassador Zixither addressed the Korthax representative directly. "Your Dominion attacked a species whose idea of entertainment includes simulating warfare, who tell stories celebrating last stands and impossible victories, who have a word, spite, that means continuing to fight purely to hurt your enemy, even when you know you cannot win, but they seem so peaceful," the Korthax delegate whispered. "So diplomatic, they are peaceful," Counselor Venra explained, "because they, better than any species in this galaxy, understand the true cost of war. They have fought wars that killed hundreds of millions of their own kind. They have split atoms and unleashed the power of stars as weapons. They chose diplomacy not from weakness, but from wisdom earned through oceans of blood. On Earth, the battle ended after 18 hours. The Korthax Dominion lost 84% of their invasion force. Their flagship was captured intact, its crew surrendering after watching human pilots perform maneuvers that should have liquefied their bodies, but which humans endured through sheer stubborn determination." Amelia stood beside Felix on the bridge of the captured flagship, looking out at Earth below, beautiful, blue, and utterly unconquered. "Make sure the Council receives our full after-action report," she told Felix, and Felix, "Add a note. What should it say, Admiral? We remain committed to peace, but if attacked, we will remind the galaxy why humanity climbed to the top of our food chain." The message was received. The Korthax Dominion dissolved in shame, and the galaxy learned, once again, that humans were peaceful not because they were weak, but because they were terrifyingly strong.